Good morning, everybody. John Swift here. Today I was headed out to go jogging actually in a different area, but I thought I would stop by here just by coincidence in front of Circus Feed, which is of course a feed place where you go get feed for what? Horses and chickens and cows or is it
crocodiles?
Crocodiles.
To elephants.
The owner's sitting right here. She doesn't want to be on camera. So anyway, I pull up. I kind of just glanced over here, saw something really strange, and then I came in and talked to the owner about, funny enough, a Star Wars related thing, because I had heard a story from Lester that he actually worked on one of the holsters for Star Wars. I believe it was a Han Solo holster, and she actually knew exactly what I was speaking about. Lester was not here, but you know what was here was this. Let's go take a look at this. All right, can you see that? What does that look like? What does this look like? Well, let's go over here. Now, what is your first thought that what this would be? This looks like a chariot. And what movie would you think of? Would you think of Ben-Hur? Would you think of that this was a Ben-Hur chariot? Well, you actually got the answer right, because I am told by the owner this is an original movie prop. It was 1959 is what I just looked up. The 1959 Charlton Heston. My hand is literally shaking right now because I'm very excited about this, because this is just unbelievable. We live in Sarasota County. It's a relatively small town in Florida. This, ladies and gentlemen, I heard was a stunt background prop, and it's actually been owned by several people. It's made out of fiberglass. Let's take a look at this. It looks to me, since the wheels are sort of fading a little bit, that these are probably actually original wheels. The original wheels.
But the plywood propping has probably been replaced multiple times.
So we could say that the wheels are probably original. It's probably been spruced up a couple times because it was actually used, I'm told, in some circuses. In the circus.
Yes, it was used
in the circuses.
The
Oh, she just got a phone call. This is the back of the prop.
And then it went to the Tihani Circus.
So it was used with Ringling Brothers, and I guess it was, what was the full name of it? It was Barnum and Bailey. Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey Circus, right. So as far as it being original, it was probably shored up with some wood and things. And so it was passed, what you're telling me, it was passed from circus to circus.
From a back lot.
From a back lot.
Movie theater,
right.
When they did after that. And then Ringling supposedly had a show called Roman's Chariot.
So Ringling actually had an act where they were doing chariots.
At one point.
That is fascinating.
And then it transferred over to the Tihani Circus.
The Tihani.
And
so Google that. How do you spell Tihani?
Tihaney.
Tihani Circus.
And then from Tihani, the Carlos Swenson, their comedic and ballerina act, they got it from, I don't know if they swapped it out or they purchased it from Tihani. And then when Carlos Swenson Jr. died, it ended up here.
So it's not like you can go to the local wagon store and have somebody make one of these for you. That's not really how that works. It's, hey, can you make me a chariot? And circuses do have companies that do build special things.
Yeah, like Feld has their production office, and they make anything.
So this actual prop is about 75 years old, probably 75.
60,
from around 60,
yeah,
59, 60, 75 years old, sitting in front. Who would know it would be sitting in front of a feed store? This feed store on Whitfield Avenue, it's amazing that it's sitting here. And do you use it for anything? Is it mostly just eye candy for the store?
I actually had a horse that I did have harness for, and I did used to
so it
take
actually
annoy all the local motorists.
So you rode on the road?
Absolutely.
That's
but
fantastic.
the only thing it's done lately is some people will let their fellow partner jump in the back, and they jump into the traces here, and they run around the parking lot with
So did you ever watch the movie and actually find and look at it and say, is it the same color? Was it the red, red, silver, and gold color, or has it been that? Because this looks like circus.
You can see the multiple layers of paint underneath it.
Yeah.
This was done for the circus to blend in with whatever
Right.
they were doing. But
So I may have to dig through some YouTube videos to find Charlton Heston movie and find a little still. I'll try to put in this video so you can see that this is one of the chariots. Like I said, it's not like you every day you're just walking around and you find chariots just sitting around.
well, you missed the sign
Places,
in the front there that was originally with the circus.
Is it the
And that-
Ringling?
The first tent they ever put up when they moved, when they were totally
So
under tent.
what other
they
kind of
put up
Easter
the-
eggs are haunting? How long has this place been in business?
Mr. Lawson started it in the 60s.
So this has been here since the 60s.
Right.
So this place is almost the same age as that chariot,
Almost.
because
That
that was
is-
59. This is 60. That is.
That sign.
I have goosebumps all over.
The
This
first
is really
tent they
cool.
always put up was the
Can I walk back here?
Yeah, sure you can.
So
The
this sign-
restaurant.
Okay, so this sign, Ringling Center Ring Restaurant.
And that was the sign so the employees knew where
see
to
that?
go eat.
So was this outside of the circus area? Is
No,
that?
it was in amongst all the tents and the
Oh, okay.
trucks or
So
the
it was like,
railroad
it
cars.
was, what do they call that? Like the commissary or
Yes.
something like that, and where all the performers would eat, because sometimes they had 300, 400, or 500 people that traveled with the circus, people that put up the circus tents.
Their
Not like
families.
their families came with them. They're on train cars. I've done a couple of videos, not specifically on circus, but about a little bit about John Ringling and things like that. But so is this something that I should come back and we should dig through and find out what kind of special things you have here? That is amazing.
A lot of it, unfortunately, went to we lent it to the circus show over by the Railroad Museum, and they stole it from us.
Wow. So how were you able to get that one?
It was in the building when we
It
purchased
was already
it.
here. Was this building always a feed? There's also, whoops, there's also, almost dropped it there. There's also a bird in here that
Mr. Panama.
Mr. Panama is sometimes he's very, does he bite too?
Only if you put your hand close enough.
Will he bite the camera? Is he camera? I guess he is not camera shy because
No, he
he's
isn't.
right there.
He is. He's the.
We better give him some space, I guess.
Yeah,
once I zoomed
where
in
he
there.
lands out. But Mr. Lawson was general manager for Ringling, Martin, and Bailey. And he built this building and he put it together for some performers that couldn't work. Now, I'm back outside. Who couldn't work so that he always took care of his performers. Things like their early workman's comp.
There's you sell a lot of chickens here?
A lot.
Because there are a lot of chickens that are
Some
hanging out
people,
here.
and I'm proud of it, they call me the chicken whisperer. Like as you saw, my one-legged bird, lots of people would have wrung her neck. Not me, she wanted to live.
So are these chickens like egg laying? Yeah.
Egg layers.
I have a friend that has a couple chickens.
They can come by and buy eggs.
They're actually in Bradenton, but
There are some other nuggets I have, and maybe another day.
maybe I'll have to stop by again. Well, it's a really fascinating place, and it actually has apparently a lot of history and stuff, and it has that old flavor of a kind of Western type
Well,
of
they
building.
can come talk about the circus because Mr. Lawson's office was that wing right there. And Lou Rosen, Doc, the circus Doc Henderson. I spent years with them, hearing the stories about the circus.
Well, it is fascinating stuff because it was their life. It wasn't like a job they just drove to work,
No,
came
it
back.
was
They
it
lived
was
on the
one-
road.
it was
They lived
one
on the train.
Huge family. Imagine having
Yeah, yeah,
500 relatives
Yeah, yeah.
that were with you every day.
I went through a circus book the other day at the archives and was just looking through the picture, and they would take a group photo and there'd be like 600 people in the group photo, and like the clowns would be wearing the clown outfit, and you just look at it and say, geez, I would never have any idea that there would be 500 people on a train. You know, go watch The Greatest Show on Earth or something like that if you want to get an idea of what that circus life is.
It's really a family.
Yeah, and it's changed a little bit where people drive their motor homes now and they park all at the same place.
Correct, but back then there was none
It
of
was
those
everybody was on the
luxuries.
same train. They were in it together. So it is a fascinating thing in the fact that Sarasota was the winter home of the circus. It all ties in to a lot of these things. All right, so an unexpected, amazing tree. I want to take one more good shot of this so everybody can see this amazing treasure. This side is in really good shape. This side you can see. And do we think that they changed the wheels around too, or would they look like they looked in the movies?
Axle, according to some blacksmiths, they believe that is an original axle
And like
in
the shape too.
because of the machining in it.
Right.
But I'm sure that the outward plywood trim on it
Has maybe
been changed over the years.
So go to Ben-Hur, 1959, and check that out. We'll take one more little spin around here. And you can, I mean, there's no doubt that this thing has a lot of mileage on it because it's got some cracks in here. It's got some little bit of paint thing. But you'd expect that if something was 75 years old. I mean, 75-year-old people have a lot of cracks and paint.
We call them wrinkles.
A lot of wrinkles. It's just totally fascinating. Somebody actually stood here and made that movie. Maybe I'll talk about it a little bit more tomorrow if there's anything I forgot. Make sure you guys subscribe and subscribe so you'll see the new videos and stuff. And I want to thank you, Linda, for helping me
No problem.
off camera. It's totally amazing. So we'll see you later. Have a great day, guys.